And now, live from the studios of Freedom's Phoenix, Ernest Hancock.
Welcome back to Declare Your Independence. We're going to learn a little bit about Egypt today. And we're going to take the whole 2 hours. Just going to be me and you. I'm not going to have a guest today. Let's go ahead and get this going, because I tell you what the plan is. The plan is that we're going to have some kind of an impact on this simply because it's the right thing to do for me. You know, I mean, it reminds me of the scene from Demolition Man with Dennis Leary character goes, with Sylvester Stallone character in the future, whatever, doesn't matter. And he goes, well, you're leading these people, you're starting, you're what? And he goes, no. I just do what I got to do, and sometimes people go with me. That's exactly how I view this. There's a lot of things that I want to do, and I'd rather do, and I need to do, and but there's some things you got to do. And the one thing that I got to do is I need to make certain that at a crucial time, from the experience that we have, that they do not go down the dark path without understanding what their options are. Now, they may still go down the dark path or whatever. That's not the point. The point is that if you are able to inject an injection of the libertarian infection into the bone marrow of a culture for which there is no cure, you will have an enormous long-term effect when it is the most needed. It has always happened. There's been great minds that have done this for us in America. We have been an inspiration to a lot of other countries and peoples around the world. I am tired of them doing this democracy thing, because those listening to the show, I'm sure we know what that is. It's going to be the 50% of the poor people that were in the streets and everything demanding what they want from everybody else. Now give it to me. And without, this individual right, they'll descend into chaos, and I don't mind anarchy. There's spontaneous order comes out of anarchy and chaos, but to have this just, nobody really knows or understands what, and then it's just who's got the bigger gun. Oh, that's what the organized powers of Europe and the West love. They will, man, they like this big. If you can give them a goal, a light on the hill, all right, a shining light up there, the Lady Liberty torch, Freedom's Phoenix, coming out of the ashes of, you can do that and articulate it, which it has. I mean, once they're on the internet worldwide, these ideas are going to flood in anyway. There's nothing you can do to stop it. I don't know, but I would suspect that it's already starting to happen, and we can help. ISIL doing the Arabic translation of the Philosophy of Liberty. Just Google it and watch it. The Philosophy of Liberty. It'll blow up all over your browser in all kinds of different languages. I was shocked that it was not already in Arabic, but they were working on it. They had already started. It had been a project. They kind of had it sitting over here. Yeah, we should finish this and so on. And I kind of, gave them the Bic lighter into the butt to get it done. So within a few days, boom, they got it done. Done. Here we go. By the end of the weekend, this is going to explain. There's so often times I've been an activist for a couple of decades that I've known what was going to happen. So much so that it gets to a point you would think that the big bad guys would come and, shut down my site or something. So you just know you're doing something right when they're, doing denial service stuff and everything. But, the thing is that what we wanted to do is we wanted to be able to just inject a short 7-8 minutes of them understanding it's about self-ownership. Throughout the history, we'll go over here, of always being ruled by someone, usually across an ocean, but, they put an Egyptian face on it. Or not. It could even been someone else, and we'll see. If you can get that implanted, couple of graphics, a little logo, a little show of solidarity from, and the understanding that there are people here in the United States that understand exactly how they feel. That we are in a battle against the exact same people. The names are the same. The organizations are the same. The collectives are the same. The goals of these guys are the same. In fact, we got pyramid in all our money. So I mean, it's same. Heck, it might have even started, the Aluma secret handshake council on crap. May have started with the ancient culture in Egypt anyway. You never know. So we have a lot more in common with them than you may realize. Now I want to look at a couple of things up here. You go to the CIA fact book on various countries, and it gives you a lot of good information. I think there was some stuff here that really kind of popped out at me that I wanted to share. Now, let's go ahead and do a little background. This is the CIA going on, kind of giving a paragraph on, it's a long paragraph, but it's a paragraph on how they want to describe Egypt. The irregularity and richness of the annual Nile River flood, coupled with semi-isolation provided by deserts to the east and west, allowed for the development of one of the world's greatest civilizations. A united kingdom arose about 3200 BC, and a series of dynasties ruled in Egypt for the next 3 millennia. The last native dynasty fell to the Persians in 341 BC, who in turn were replaced by the Greeks, then the Romans, and then the Byzantines. It was the Arabs who introduced Islam and the Arabic language in the 7th century and who ruled for the next 6 centuries. A local military caste, the Mamluks, took control about 1250 and continued to govern after the conquest of Egypt by the Ottoman Turks in 1517, following the completion of the Suez Canal in 1869. Egypt became an important world transportation hub, but also fell heavily into debt. We'll talk about that a little bit too, ostensibly to protect its investments. Britain seized control of Egypt's government in 1882, but nominal allegiance to the Ottoman Empire continued until 1914. Now, keep in mind, during this part is when the First World War started. You remember the movie and the books and so on about Lawrence of Arabia. What Lawrence of Arabia was about, Lawrence was a British army officer that went to help the Arabs in conflict with the Ottoman Empire, the Turks. Because in the trenches in World War I, you had on one side, the British and French on one side, and on the other side, the Kaiser, the Germans, and the Turkish army. Well, what they wanted is to make sure that you kept a whole bunch of people, the armed service and supply lines and all this engaged in Saudi Arabia, the Arabian Peninsula there, because if they were allowed to go to the front in Europe, that would be a big change in the balance of power. So what the concept was, Lawrence of Arabia, Lawrence had his own concept. He wanted to free it for Arabs because he had an affinity towards the Arab culture. But how he sold this and got military backing and explosives and guns and so on, rifles, they wouldn't give them the big artillery gun. They didn't want them, then they'd be free. Well, we can't do that. We're not going to give them artillery. The Ottoman Empire is sitting there blasting them away with artillery, but we're not giving the Arabs artillery. They can figure it out another way. So what they did is he kept blowing up rail lines and so on to keep the Ottoman Empire engaged in Arabia. That was World War I up to the late teens. We'll go ahead and get more on this when we come back. This is good information you should know.